First of all, I have to put to you that many watching that game, and with respect, you were outvoted in our studio at half-time, thought that Diogo Dalot might have been sent off. So please address that again, if you will. And then just see the game from City's perspective.
Yeah, I was surprised. Look, I thought yellow was right. I still think yellow was right. There are many, and we've seen already in the studio, Roy, Mike and Daniel have said that they think that that's a red card. Now, I was surprised, actually. Sometimes, you know, when you're sort of firm in your position, then obviously these things are subjective. And at half-time, the three lads said it was a red. Mike Dean, obviously, who sat on this gantry with us many times, said he thought it was a red. So you start to question yourself. But what I thought was that, and I'm looking at it from purely a sort of fullback perspective, it's a bit like if you punch someone, it's a red. If you slap someone, it's a yellow type thing. It's almost like. So to me, what Dalot's foot does, the ball's there. And by the way, you've got to take into consideration as well, I think, Doku and what he does and what he is. He's sensational at shifting the ball. So I think he's just gone like that with his studs, and it's not really got a lot of force behind it. If he goes like that and holds his legs stiff and firm, and he follows through with it, and he doesn't do that little pull away side at the end, I think it's a red. So I think there is a subtle difference, and we were listening to VAR and what they thought of it, and he read it as I read it at the time, that the force wasn't there in the challenge. It was an attempt for the ball, and Doku's too quick for him, which is exactly what VAR said. You know, I'm sure Howard Webb will do his programme in a couple of weeks, and we'll show that incident. But that was the feeling of me as well, that it wasn't a red card. It was just, it was one of them that you looked at and thought, oh, in slow motion, yeah, it's on the knee, it's not good. But it was just one of them because the ball was there and the ball was bouncing. So I did think it was a yellow, probably orange. I didn't think it was a red. But I can see, you know, Pep Guardiola, Manchester City fans, I'm sure will just say it's a red all day long. It's ridiculous. You're being biased. You're a United fan. But I genuinely think that I don't look at it like that. If I genuinely thought it was a red, I'd say it. And I think if it's a stiff leg with real force, I think it's basically a red, but I don't think it is. I think it's a bit one of those legs, like he's almost reaching for it with his studs like that, and that's how I saw it.
That aside, and that of course will be a big debating point for City fans in particular, was City a little tepid today, or was it just that Manchester United played so well?
I think City were surprised. I don't think I think they expected Manchester United to come out. I think what Pep Guardiola would have said to them is, look, they're going to come out potentially and be hard, and come out the blocks fast, and it might be a little bit rah gung-ho for 20 minutes, but when it dies down, you'll play through them. I don't think he would have expected the level of sustained aggression and sustained compactness and sustained organisation of this Manchester United team. They couldn't get the ball into Haaland. Now, the one thing I thought City should have done when they continually kept hitting this red wall and it kept going wide to Semenyo and Doku, maybe they should just simplify the game a little bit and put crosses in. What would that do? It'd make, obviously, Haaland potentially come into the game a little bit more, but it might make them, Manchester United's fullback, just edge a little bit wider, which means then that the opening spaces might come up in the channels. So I didn't think City changed it up enough to be able to actually then create things in a way in which they normally do, which is the chance that Reinders gets when he gets in that sort of channel. You could never get between United's lines, but I think they had to try and be a little bit more forceful with those crosses to try and open up something else, and they just didn't do. They just fell into the trap, City, and United got the goal.